Healing my traumas didn't magically turn me into a Zen goddess. On the contrary, it made me cry a lot. It made me have sleepless nights. It kept me restless and uncomfortable until it finally made me feel better. And that's what I'm here to talk about today. Not the entire crazy Instagrammy, oh, this is what you feel like morning meditations and journaling and drinking moon waters. Healing myself helped me become the version of myself who can literally handle absolutely anything that comes her way without losing her sleep. If this is something that interests you, then continue watching. Welcome back to Love Therapy with Zeba, where we remember our power, return back to ourselves, and create the lives we genuinely love living every single day. Let's get into it. I'm not throwing any shade on any of the creators that make phenomenal content on healing. However, in today's day of social media where we have so much exposure, I've been one of the consumers too. I still am. And I always thought healing meant I'm going to feel at ease and at peace all the time. I'm going to feel happy all the time from inside. I'm going to be out and about doing activities. I'm going to be drinking matcha. I'm going to be meditating and waking up at the same time every day, going to sleep at the same time every day, dressing really well, doing my hair and makeup every day, laughing all the time, never getting triggered, never getting angry, never snapping, always saying the right thing at the right time. That's what I thought healing would do for me. However, that's not what it looked like at all. Going through it in real life, which for the longest time made me feel like I was majorly falling behind and definitely doing things wrong because this possibly couldn't be what healing looks like. But let me tell you what it actually looked like. So I've written these things down so I don't miss out on any points. But healing really doesn't feel like you're calm all the time or centered and grounded all the time. What it looked like for me was crying because someone was 5 minutes late and not realizing what that was about, getting triggered by things I thought I'd already worked through, canceling plans because my nervous system just felt exhausted. Like I didn't even know exhausted from what, but I just felt tired all the time. And so I'd make plans in the morning, but by the time would arrive for me to execute those plans, whether it was going out to meet my friends, recording a video, I just couldn't get myself to do it. I just couldn't, even if it was like cleaning the house or folding my laundry, I just couldn't get myself to do it, right? Feeling anger you never allowed yourself to feel before. Setting boundaries and then feeling guilty afterwards. Realizing some relationships can't come with you to the next chapter. Grieving people who are still alive. Having days when you feel incredible and days when you feel like you've gone backwards. Learning to sit with uncomfortable emotions instead of distracting yourself. Discovering that some of your coping mechanisms were actually survival mechanisms. This is an important one. Some of my coping mechanisms, for example, before, I used to think that I had the superpower to compartmentalize. And so I was just like great at dealing with breakups or rejections, but I would just put into another box, not think about it. My dad passing away. This isn't going to become a trauma dumping episode, but just to give you that as an example, my dad passed away and I cried the day he did, maybe 1-2 days after, and that was it. I didn't think about it. I didn't cry about it, didn't allow myself to think about it until 3 years after the fact, where I felt like talking to him. And it suddenly hit me that, oh my God, I can't call him. And I had the most insane cry. I think I cried the entire night that day. And then again, I compartmentalized it. And for many, many, many years after that, didn't think about it. It's only about over the last 3 or 4 years, where I actually started my healing journey, where I took the time out to sit with the uncomfortable feeling of missing dad and not feeling guilty about it, just allowing myself to feel whatever I was feeling and let that come to the surface. And let me tell you, that didn't happen in one go. That didn't happen at one shot or because of one therapy session or because of one guided meditation session with my mentor. No. Yes, all of these things helped, but it came in cycles. It came at the most random times. I would see my friend's dad with her during a function or during her wedding, and things like this never affected me before, but they started affecting me now. And I was just like, why am I feeling so emotional about it? And I would start judging myself by like, it's okay, it's fine, or immediately trying to pacify myself. That's fine, okay, it's fine. You don't have your dad, so you don't have to victimize yourself or feel bad about it. It is what it is. But while that is true, it is also so important to just allow yourself to feel whatever you're feeling. I miss my dad. I wish he was there. I wish I could hug him. As always, daddy's little girl. And I've now been alive longer without him. Have I? Oh, wait. God, I've lost track of how many years dad hasn't been here. But I mean, yeah, the shared time that we spent together, I've spent more time without him than I had with him. Still, I miss him, and that's okay. I don't have to justify it. I don't have to pacify myself super quick. I can just be. And that took me a very, very, very long time to allow myself to do, or to even understand that my body needed that. Right? Going back to the other points, learning to sit with uncomfortable emotions instead of distracting yourself. That was a tough one as well, whether this was after a breakup, whether it was after a project that I didn't get, whether it was about the uncertainty of what lays ahead, career wise, shadi wise, in so many different verticals of my life. None of us know what's going to happen. And it's okay to feel uncomfortable about that. It's not okay to sit and spiral out and just keep thinking about it. Acknowledge the thoughts in your mind. Don't suppress them. Don't distract yourself by going out with your friends or going out for a party or getting drunk or getting high or whatever it is. Actually, sit with that discomfort, acknowledge the thoughts coming into your mind, and tell them it's okay that we don't know what's going to happen. In this moment, what do I have my control over? That's what I'm going to keep my focus on. That's what I choose to keep my focus on. Grieving people who are still alive. This was a toughie because as I started healing myself and evolving, I realized that a lot of the friends that I had or the people that I had surrounded myself with were not aligned with the version of me that I was working towards becoming. Not to say that they were good, bad, none of that. No judgment whatsoever. They just weren't aligned with who I was becoming. And a lot of those friendships were easy to grow out of or cut out. But there were those few where it broke my heart and I would miss them so much. And I've gone back a few times only to realize why I had separated to begin with. And these aren't boyfriend relationships I'm talking about. These are actual friendships where there is still so much love, there is still so much care, but I know the life that I'm building for myself and I know the version of myself I am growing towards, right? And as I started healing myself, I realized these friendships are no longer aligned. They're holding me back more than they're letting me grow and move forward. And so that was really difficult. The missing them and holding myself back from not texting them or calling them or reaching out to them because it was just no longer aligned. Which leads us to the other point of realizing how some relationships can't come forward with you. They were just meant to play their role for that period of time and they've served their purpose. And this isn't to make friendships or relationships sound transactional because they're not. But not everyone who comes into your life is meant to stay in your life forever. Majority of the human beings who come into your life come in for a season to teach you something, to make you experience something, whether it's positive, negative, whatever it is. But that is for you to evolve. That experience is necessary for you to become the best version of yourself. So the moment you learn that lesson or you've had that experience, these people fall away. And that's okay. Not everyone's meant to be with you forever. And just because they aren't a part of your life anymore also doesn't mean you need to hate on them or shade on them. They came, they played their role, and now you let them go with love. Because the more you try holding on to those relationships, the more painful it gets for both of you. And that ends up looking like you have more fights, you have more misunderstandings, your presence in each other's company irritates you more than it nourishes you and fuels you. That's when you know the relationship has run its course and it's time to move forward. If it's meant to stay in your life, they'll find their way back to you. Even if not, it's okay. It was a great experience to have had, whichever side of the spectrum it's on, and we just say thank you and move forward. Oh my God, the setting boundaries and feeling guilty afterwards, holy mother of Lord. I literally did not know the concept of boundaries. I had no idea, right? And after I discovered this very cool word, boundary, I was like, are you kidding me? But that's not how love functions. That's not how relationships are. You know, if you love somebody, then you're just there. Doesn't matter whether it's day or night. It doesn't matter if you have work. It doesn't matter if you've made commitments to yourself. No, 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 no. If you love a person, you put all that aside and you show up. That's not how life works. You don't burn yourself out by trying to be there for other people. There is another word for that. It's called people pleasing. That's what it is. You first fill your own cup, and when that is filled, then you're able to give to others, to everyone you love, without depleting yourself. But if you're constantly going to try being there for everybody in your life, at the cost of your peace of mind, your self respect, your time, your energy, you're soon going to start resenting these people and you're going to be like, oh my God, I do so much for this person, but is this person ever there for me? You start looking at it from a transactional perspective. But if you just did something for somebody because it made you feel good to be there for them, to support them, you're not going to keep track of those things in your mind. You're not even going to think about them later because you did it because it made you happy, and that's that. You've put it out into the universe, it'll find you. The universe has the most beautiful ways of bringing love and support back to you. It may come from the same person, it may not, but that's okay. But always does come back. But don't do it with the intention of getting it back one way or another. Do it because you want to do it. And that starts with setting boundaries. Going out, for example. I had promised myself that I'm going to go to bed early and wake up early because that's better for my mental health and for longevity, right? Go to bed at the same time, wake up at the same time. What that actually looked like was me saying no to plans that were made after 7 p.m. Because if I make plans at 7 p.m., when am I going to come back home? When am I going to get ready for bed? When am I going to go to bed? If I go out post 7, 8, my entire sleep schedule gets messed up. And so I started with setting boundaries with my friends saying, I'm sorry, I can't hang out. And I just became like a broken record of saying, no, I'm sorry, I can't. No, I'm sorry, I can't. And they were just like, oh my God, Zeba, you become so boring. How can you not come out and hang out? And so what? It's just one night, nothing will happen. That's how it starts, right? And I was just like, no, I've made a promise to myself. I know why I'm doing this, and it's important that I stick to it. And I used to feel so guilty. I used to feel so guilty saying no. It was unreal. I also struggled with saying no, right? Like canceling plan, like not going out was saying no. Oh my God. So I would start avoiding people. Like when I'd be in my high energy state, I would have made plans, and then either because my system would feel really tired, I would be feeling super dysregulated, and I had no idea, mind you, at the time when I was experiencing this, that this is what was happening. I just wouldn't feel like it. I just wouldn't feel like going out, and I'm like, oh my God, no, that's too much effort. But I also don't know how to say no. And I would feel guilty for saying no, and so I just wouldn't say anything, and I would disappear, or I'd put my phone on D&D and like just not take calls. Like I've ghosted so many of my friends so many times, or the days I'd like have the courage, I'd start making excuses. No, but I have this, I have that, or my stomach's feeling upset, or I have a headache, I'm not feeling well, just so I don't have to go out. It was exhausting. It was draining, absolutely draining. And that's what it looked like. It looked insanely messy. That's how my boundary setting started. I was an insane people pleaser, the queen of people pleasers. And saying no was just so freaking difficult. I can't even tell you, but this is what it started with. But now, what, 5, 6 years later, after this journey has begun, I feel comfortable saying no now, and I say it with love, I say it with respect, and people listen because I am not interested in giving excuses anymore. I don't care if you understand or you don't understand. If you're my friend, if you love me, you're going to get it. Even if you don't, no problem. You can get upset with me, but this is something I gotta do, and I am going to do it. It's just as simple as that. I don't give long winded explanations anymore. I'm going to bed early. Sorry, can't. Or if you want to hang out, I'm happy to do it before 5. Let's make an early evening plan. And if you can't, no problem. We'll do it when both of us are free. That's what it looks like. Also, the canceling plans because your nervous system is feeling dysregulated. This was something I, again, didn't realize for such a long time. I'd have to do auditions. And I would leave it like till the absolute last minute where I'd have to submit it. It came to a point where even the deadline wouldn't do anything for me, and I'd just be like, you know what, forget it. There'd be other auditions. I won't do it. I'm just not feeling like it. My head hurts, my body hurts, and you actually genuinely feel like the physical symptoms, right? Your body hurts, your chest hurts, your head hurts, and if you try moving yourself too much to do it, at least with me, I used to start crying, and I'd be like, what the hell is going on with me? Like I wouldn't understand what was happening with me, right? And so I just end up not doing what I'd said I'd do. The amount of times I've disappointed myself over the years, that I've disappointed others, where I haven't done what I said I'd do, is unreal. Like where I'm starting from right now, I've literally lost all credibility when it comes to that, to be honest. Like, I won't even lie, just because of how many times I've bailed on everybody, on including myself. And I know within myself that I'm different now, and I do what I say I'll do. And I know it'll take some time for this to become my new reputation, and that's okay. I know why I was dysregulated in the past. There was just too many emotions that I hadn't processed, that I hadn't allowed myself to feel, which finally caught up with me and made me freeze. I went blind from my. Oh, I'd written this down while journaling one time. I can't even remember where I'd written it. No idea. Okay, I'm just going to say it from memory. Um, my back had started getting stuck at like this angle, right? And I would end up being bedridden for a couple of months. I went blind from my right eye for about 8, 9 months, which impacted my makeup work. I started breaking out into rashes all over my body. I started getting severe migraines. I started feeling intense numbness and tingling sensations in my feet, my legs, my hands, and I couldn't understand what was happening. The amount of tests that I've gotten done, the amount of doctors that I went to, and for whoever knows me, they know how much I don't like going to doctors, but I had to go. But to my luck, I ended up finding some really good doctors who didn't directly jack me up on medication, but they were like, this is stress related and you need to change your lifestyle completely because whatever you've been doing up until now clearly hasn't been working. So you need to change your lifestyle and learn how to manage your stress better. Add in healthier things to your daily routine and learn how to manage your stress and make better choices for yourself. And these are people, mind you, who literally have no idea who I am, but this advice just fit so well, and I started applying it. I started doing it. And that's what healing actually looked like for me. It was just so messy and all over the place. It, especially after Pops passed away, who's like a father figure to me about 2.5 years ago, that was just my breaking point because I couldn't get myself off the couch. I'd just be lying down, crying all the time, eh, playing games on my phone all the time, even if I was sitting with my friends. If someone tried to take my phone away or stop me from playing the game, I would lose my mind because I was just sitting and playing constantly. I went into such a depressive state at that time. Oh my God. And I knew working out will make me feel better. I knew meditating would help me feel better. I knew waking up early would make me feel better, but I was just not able to do anything. And that's what a dysregulated nervous system looks like. And that's what healing looks like. You get so overwhelmed with all of the information that you have gotten about yourself, it gets really hectic. But whenever you do have those better feeling days, you need to take advantage of those days and just do something that puts you in the forward moving trajectory of just doing something that is more aligned with the version of yourself you're trying to become, which is somebody who's secure within themselves, who feels good with who they are in this moment, as messy or great as that may be, because nobody's perfect. Everybody always has something or the other. But to have the ability to see yourself just as you are and still look at yourself with grace and love yourself just as you are, that's all you've got to do to get that needle to move. Literally. Oh my God. Also, getting triggered by things you thought you were done healing and you thought you had moved past. Holy Mother of Lord. The amount of times I'm like, oh my God, finally, oh, is that what it was? Um, I've dealt with it, I've felt my emotions, I've done the work. I'm not going to get triggered again. Oh, but honey, that's not how it works. You have so many layers to the wound that every time you think you have healed that particular trigger for that particular wound, it goes a layer deeper, and that comes through friends, it comes through relationships, it comes through work, it comes through your mom. And you just go like, oh my God, why the hell am I getting triggered now? This is so annoying. Are you kidding me? I thought I'd dealt with this. And then you realize, oh, this is a deeper layer of that same wound. I'm not going to go into detail about triggers here. I'll make a separate video on it, but that's literally what it looks like. And you're like, oh my God, I still have work left to do. I thought I was done. And that was another major lesson. Healing is never fully done. You are constantly healing and evolving and growing into the best version of yourself. And healing from grief from the old version of you is not a linear graph. Like, it doesn't go like this. It goes ding, 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 ding. I'm sure you've heard this 10,000 times, but living it is a whole other experience. Just as soon as you think that you're done healing one particular wound, a deeper layer of that same wound gets revealed. And that's okay. It's a part of the process. You don't let that shake you up. You don't let that make you feel that you're falling behind or that all the work you've done till now has been a waste and that, oh God, you're going to fall apart now. No. It's just a part of the process. Take that as information. Be like, okay, this still exists. Come, let me hold you. It's okay. We got this. Because we actually do got this. And the crying because someone was 5 minutes late and not knowing the actual reason why you're crying, this has happened to me. I can't even tell you how many times. Someone would ask me, how are you? Waterworks. Someone would ask me, oh, how's your makeup career going? Or how's acting going? Dhar, 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 tears. Or I ordered the wrong dish. Or my friend ordered the wrong dish from Swiggy for dinner. It would make me feel like my world has fallen apart and I would just cry. I'm like, and I would know in my brain, I would know this is ridiculous. Why am I getting so hyper about this? But the most random things would trigger me. If I didn't get up to take a shower that day because I just didn't have the energy to move all day, it would frustrate me so hard that I would just cry. The most random things would make me cry. Something I would see on Instagram or on the TV and it would just strike a chord and I would start crying. It was just like, oh my, I can't tell you how frustrating that was, how annoying it was to not be able to have a conversation without crying. It had reached such a point where I completely isolated myself and stopped meeting people altogether. It was three of my friends who refused to leave me alone and would do like weekly check-ins or every other day would just show up at my door and they're like, Bash, you want to cry? Cry. It's fine. We can hang. Like, what else are you going to do? You want to scream? You want to shout? You want to punch your wall? You want to punch me? Go ahead and do it. But I'm not going to leave you alone. That made so much of a difference. I can't even tell you. That support system really pulled me out of the trenches. It really did. And so, another reason why it's important to surround yourself with the right people. All of this just to say that healing doesn't look pretty. Healing doesn't look perfect. Just because you've started healing or you've healed most of your trauma or almost all your trauma, if that's how you feel, it doesn't mean that you're not going to get triggered anymore. It doesn't mean that you're going to feel calm and happy and at peace all the time. What healing actually means is that you're going to have days where you feel confused. It's going to look messy. You're going to take a nap instead of doing what you actually need to be doing. You're going to lose a lot of friends. Some without realizing, some very consciously that you choose to cut away from. As you heal and allow yourself to feel the feelings that you've suppressed for so many years, they're going to start resurfacing in the form of physical ailments. It looks different for everybody. It really looks very different for every single human. But all of this just to say that don't judge yourself too harshly. It's okay if things are messy. It's okay if you're feeling confused. It's okay if you're still not feeling fully sure within yourself. It is okay. It's okay to just check out for a day and take rest, binge watch a show. It's okay. Just pay attention to what this wants to feel and let it feel that. Because the main thing that I've learned from my healing journey is that you're not trying to become someone new. You're really not. You're just trying to remember and get back to being who you truly are, unapologetically, guilt free, with joy and pride in your heart for being exactly who you are. I want to give you an actionable step that you can take away from this video, something that you can start applying to your life from right this very moment. Every time you get triggered, instead of being like, oh my God, why am I getting triggered? Just take a moment and ask yourself, what is this trigger actually trying to teach me? Which wound has gotten triggered? And what do I need to do to heal it? That's it. Just switch the question from why am I getting triggered to what is this trigger trying to teach me? That's it. You don't need to break your head about it. You don't need to sit all the time thinking about this. But this is a practical action that you can take because life does get chaotic. You are bound to get triggered. We don't ever fully get healed. The best we can do is show up for ourselves in the best way we can, just moment to moment. That's it. And that progress is never going to look like you not getting triggered, but it's going to look like how soon you can recover from that trigger, how well you're able to stay centered and grounded within yourself even as you get triggered, so that you don't end up projecting your trauma onto other people and letting that negative cycle continue. Instead, you become the person who breaks the cycle, who takes accountability and ownership of their actions and shit that got dumped onto them. And instead of passing that forward, you decide that it dies with you and to take action so you can be the channel and the source for joy and peace and love in this world instead of stress and anger and discomfort and vengeance and revenge and things like that. That's why healing is important, and that's why it's worth going through all the dark, crazy phases that you go through to come out on the lighter side. I really hope you liked this episode. I'm going to be churning out a lot of videos to help you come back to yourself and discover that power within, which has always been there. So please subscribe, drop a like, drop a comment. It'll show me that you really like this video. And if you've made it till here, thank you so much for listening to me talk. I really hope I was able to add some value to you. And just in case no one's told you, I believe in you. I love you so much. And if you're struggling right now, I'm sending you the biggest hug. You're not alone. I love you so very much. And you deserve to be happy. You deserve to take rest. You deserve to do what makes your heart truly, truly happy. And I believe in you in having that ability to make that change and choice for yourself. Until the next episode.